welcome to the premiere show of On the Bus. We're riding bus number 2 today, which was voted the best line in the Twin Cities in the City Pages for 1997. So if you'd like to join us, please come on board. I'm holding in my hand a bus schedule. It's long, it's complicated, there's lots of numbers on it, lots of phone numbers, lots of fare information, lots and lots of stuff. Where do you find one of these things? How do you locate a bus schedule, and how do you know what bus schedule you want or how to get from point A to point B? We're going to be talking to Terry Klinger, who's a customer service advocate for the MCTO, and he's going to tell us how to find out what bus to ride from where you are to where you want to go, and how to get a hold of these bus schedules right here that'll help you to ride the bus more than once. Okay, we're here at DuPont and Franklin Avenues in South Minneapolis at the west end of the Route 2 bus, and we're going to be talking to one of the customer service advocates. Would you like to introduce yourself?
My name's Terry Klinger.
Hi, how are you today?
Good.
Would you like to tell us a little bit about how a person gets to this point? Here we are, we know what bus we're riding, and we're standing at the stop. If you've never ridden the bus before, what should you do to find out how to get where you want to go?
If you've never ridden the bus before, you want to call 373-3333. That's the number that you call to get route information. They'll need to know where you're at and where you want to go, what time you want to leave, or what time you want to arrive at your destination. And they'll give you all the information on the telephone. If you have enough advance warning, they can also send you information in the mail. Once you get to the bus stop, you just watch for the bus. Make sure you signal the bus driver so he knows that you want the bus. We have a lot of people who stand at a bus stop waiting to cross the street, waiting for a ride, just standing there. So make sure that you signal the bus driver that you want the bus just by raising your hand or nodding your head, and he'll pull over and let you board the bus.
Okay, so we're here at the bus. We've found the right bus stop, and we're about to get on board. What do we need to know at this point?
Well, the bus drivers do not give change, so you'll need your exact fare ready. The fare box does take dollar bills, but it does not give back change. So you'll put in your bus fare. If you don't know what the fare is, you can ask the driver, and he will tell you. And if you're going to transfer onto another bus and take another route, then you'll ask the bus driver for a transfer, and he'll give you a transfer.
Okay, so we're getting on the bus. Hi there. And we're here at the fare box, and this is the point at which you would ask for a transfer, yes?
Put in your fare or the transfer that you've had from another bus line, and if you are just boarding the bus and paid your cash fare and need a transfer to another line, the bus driver will give you one of these transfers.
And don't fold that transfer, whatever you do. When you put it in your pocket, do not fold the transfer, or it will not go into the little transfer taking device, right?
Correct, correct.
Okay, thanks. All right, so when somebody dials 373-3333 to get their busing information, what's the first thing they're going to hear? What are their options?
It's a menu-driven automated system, so it will walk them through it. It'll ask them what kind of information they're looking for, and then it'll tell them which buttons to push for bus information, and they push that button. But it's menu-driven, so it'll walk them through the entire menu options.
Okay. Is there information on there about what the fares are, or what the monthly transit card options are if you want to buy monthly passes and that sort of thing?
Correct. All transit information is available there, such as where to get the bus, how much the fare is, 30-day passes, stored value cards. Any information you could possibly want is on that system, and you do have the operation or the option of pushing 0 and getting an operator.
Okay, great. Now, how does somebody get you on the phone, Terry? When are we going to be talking to you?
Okay, customer advocates, we're out in the field, and what we do is we go out and investigate situations where customers have complained, or we go out and check our routes and look at it from the customer's point of view. We want to see what the bus stop looks like, where they stand. We want to talk with the customers. It's a proactive position, so we want to talk to the customers before they have a problem or a complaint.
So have you been riding the bus and talking to people who are riding different bus routes, finding out what they think about the routes and that sort of thing?
Right. Prior to working at the MCTO, I was a bus driver for 15 years to and from work. And so I knew some of the questions that passengers sometimes have. And for the past 4 years, I've been a customer advocate, riding routes, going to the park and ride, standing at the bus stops, taking some phone calls. The customer comment cards, which all buses have, where people can make comments about the transit system. All of those come to my desk, and I answer many of them myself. Some of them I have to pass on to drivers or managers to get answers to the problems.
Okay, so about how many different routes are you responsible for personally?
I have approximately 50 routes that I'm responsible for.
Wow, okay. So what do you do in the course of a regular workday?
Primarily ride buses and stand at bus stops and address customer comment cards and any letters that might come into the agencies with questions or concerns. I may answer them personally or follow up on them with other managers to make sure that they're answered.
Are there typical questions and concerns, typical complaints, things that you hear from writers sort of consistently that are being worked on that are more of a priority right now for you than other things?
We get a wide range of questions and concerns. There really is no typical day, and there really is no typical question. You're dealing with a couple 100,000 riders on any given week, and so there is no common question. Anything can come up.
Why don't you run down for us quickly just a few of the bus rules and regulations that a first-time rider should maybe keep in mind?
First of all, you got to realize it's public transportation. There's a lot of people taking the bus. So you have to be courteous to all the other passengers as well as to the driver. There's a safety issue. The driver is driving a bus with a lot of people in it during rush hours. So you don't want to do anything to distract the driver. Loud music. We don't allow eating or drinking on the bus, obviously just for cleanup reasons. We don't have the staff. We don't have the capability of cleaning the bus on the route or at the end of the route if somebody should spill something. So we don't allow any eating or drinking on the bus. Loud music, loud talk. You can't be disruptive to the operator or to the other passengers in any way. So it's just a general, it's public transportation, so you conduct yourself as you would in a public restaurant or in a store.
Sort of a common courtesy issue. Are strollers allowed on the buses? And if you bring a stroller on the bus, what's the procedure with that? What should you do with your kid in your stroller?
Strollers are allowed on the bus. We request that the strollers be folded. Sometimes that's not possible, but we always have to keep the aisles clear. We always have to make sure that people can get on and off the bus. You always have to be aware of the elderly who may need a little bit room or may have a walker. We also have disabled community who ride the bus who have wheelchairs. So with strollers, you always have to make sure that you fold them up or keep them out of the way. Go to the back of the bus into a corner if you can so that you're not in the way of other passengers.
Okay, great. Anything else that you'd like to add?
We invite everybody to take the bus. It doesn't take as long as some people perceive. Some people think, geez, it takes forever to get where I'm wanting to go. The main thing is to call our information line, 373-3333. Tell them where you're leaving and where you want to go and when you want to get there or when you want to depart, and give it a try. A lot of times we get people during the state fair and other promotions that take the bus who have never been on the bus, and they say, this is great, and they become bus riders. So give it a try.
Thank you very much. Okay, so we're talking to Jane Shuttleworth, who's playing her flutes here on the bus today. Jane, do you want to tell us a little bit about your band and about what you've been doing?
Yeah, I have a band called Grupo Ñawi, and there's about 8 of us, and they're not all on the bus here today, but we play a variety of flutes from the Andes Mountain region of South America, and the flutes are played in large ensembles that are metaphors for community. The flutes come in 3 sizes that represent the different age groups in the community, like the miniature, the children, the adults, and the grandparents, so that when the music is all played together, everybody plays the same flute all at once. It's a metaphor for community. And
where have you been performing in and around the Twin Cities?
well, the kind of music we play isn't really for stages. It comes out of a community tradition where people play in rituals or parades or something. So here in the Twin Cities, we usually end up playing in parades and parks. We were in the May Day parade at some events, solidarity events with for the Zapatistas, schools, university.
Okay, so is it that community aspect of the music that made you interested in coming on the bus and being on the show today and playing here today, or how did you get involved with being on the bus?
Yep, that's how it happened.
Okay, great. Anything else you want to add?
I don't know when this is going to go on the air, but we'll be playing next Thursday at a storytelling event at the Black Forest. That'll be a week from June 19th or 16th. It's on a Thursday. And we also practice every Thursday at the Sculpture Garden. There's great acoustics in there inside the conservatory. And then when the weather's nice, we are playing out around the sculptures. Yeah, we also play in the markets, a lot of the markets around town. And when we play in the markets, we change the name of our group to Flutes and Vegetables.
So like the farmer's market, that sort of thing?
The farmers market and the market at Franklin in Chicago.
Okay, so you have a number that you want to play for us now? Why don't you tell us what kind of flute is this?
This flute is called an antara, and it's each length of cane is cut to a different, each piece of cane is cut to a different length that makes a sliding scale. And the way these are played, oftentimes you'll play these on 2 racks, and each rack has different notes, so you need 2 people to complete a song. But since the rest of the group isn't here with me today, I am playing the version where all the notes are on 1 rack, so I can play the song by myself.
Okay, Jane Shuttleworth. We're coming up now on the route number 2 on Franklin Avenue towards the intersection of Franklin and Nicollet. Now there's some construction on Franklin and Nicollet right now, and some of the buses on Nicollet Avenue have been diverted to the streets on either side. I believe the buses running towards downtown are running down first, and the buses away from downtown are running down Blaisdell. Okay, we've just passed the intersection of Nicollet and Franklin. Just behind us here is the Acadia Cafe. I believe we have an interview coming up with somebody from the Acadia. Hi. This is a Route 2 on the bus highlight. We're at the Acadia Cafe and Bakery today, talking to Erin. Hi, how you doing today?
Good, how are you?
Pretty good. We're just going to talk a little bit about the Acadia Cafe, tell you where it is and what's going on here, and we'll hope that you'll come down here and visit the Acadia real soon. Erin, why don't you tell us a little bit about the business, like how long Acadia has been around and what kind of offerings you have here, a little bit about the artwork that's being shown next door at the Mcat at Acadia Gallery.
Okay. Acadia opened last August, so we still haven't even been in business a year, but we're doing really good. We've expanded our menu a lot. We've got soups, sandwiches, some we make here, some we get catered. We've got all the espresso beverages, pastries, fresh bread from the Turtle Bakery. We've got just millions of things. I don't know. It's hard to list them all off, but let's see. Next door we have the Mcat Art Gallery, because our owner has an association with the director of shows at Mcat. So we get new shows in here about, now it's going to be about once a month. I think there's going to be a new one. Right now there's a paper making exhibit. Let's see, what else?
That's great. Do you get a lot of customers here in the Acadia who are bus riders, do you think?
Yeah, definitely, because we have a major stop like right out here, so we get lots and lots of people, especially during the afternoon when I'm working. It's mostly people coming in to grab like a latte or whatever.
Yeah, we're on the corner of Chicago and Franklin. Excuse me, not Chicago and Franklin. We're on the corner of Nicollet and Franklin here. Got to check my bus map. Are you a bus rider?
Yeah, I'm definitely a bus rider.
Okay, this is not a major coffee spill here. This is a piece by Madeline McAllister, who is probably a student at the Minneapolis College of Art and Design. And we've been talking to the Acadia Cafe and Bakery. here at the corner of Nicollet and Franklin Avenues in South Minneapolis, a major Route number 2 stop, and we hope that people will stop by and visit. Thanks. Okay, on the bus this afternoon we have Esther Perry, who is a up-and-coming community poet. Hi.
Hi,
Esther, are you a regular bus rider, or have you been a regular bus rider in the past?
I'm an occasional bus rider. I am more of a bicyclist, at least in this weather. But I certainly do take advantage every Wednesday of the bus when I go to St. Paul from Minneapolis to go to my favorite open mic at the Artist Quarter.
If you're interested in submitting bus poetry to us, Esther's kind of our bus poetry advocate, but you can always give On the Bus a call at 257-7331, or you can write to us at On the Bus, care of MTN, at 125 Southeast Main Street, Minneapolis, Minnesota 55414. And now we have Esther Perry. Take it away.
Thanks. I'm going to be reading Offices for Writer, a poem I obviously wrote in the winter, and it was last winter. There's an ad in the hallway for offices for rent. It's silly, I think. I'll rent a space on the bus and write about the city when I get together a bit more time and money to ride around the words of a non-existent writer. Do you think of many thunks as the potholes boil and dinner rumbles over Lindale? Bumps in the letters are bumps, in the thoughts bumps. Ice slides under your pen. The ink slips into your thoughts, into the very idea of pen on paper. And you, a writer, all over the Hennepin Bridge and along University Avenue, stop. Stop the bus at 13th Avenue Southeast, get off into a snowbank, and are simply yourself going to work with a notebook tight in your left mitten, pen in your pocket. Thanks.
Okay, we're crossing the intersection of Franklin and 11th. And coming up here in just a couple of blocks will be on Bloomington and Franklin, the location of the American Indian Center. Hi, this is a Route 2 highlight. We're here at the American Indian Center near the intersection of Franklin and Bloomington Avenues, and we're talking to George McCauley, who is the
Community Resource Specialist in a Healthy Nations program.
Thanks, George. The American Indian Center is the source of 13 different programs, including the Twin Cities Healthy Nations Center and the Two Rivers Gallery and the Circle newspaper. And we're just going to talk a little bit to George today about what kind of services you can find here at the Indian Center and why you should come along and visit. Hi.
Hi. I've been with the Healthy Nations program about 11 months now. In July will be a year. I was hired as a community resource specialist because of all the Indian programs in the cities that people need to know about, or they don't know too much information about how to access them. And the Indian Center is widely known. This is where everybody seems to come when they're looking for services. And obviously, we can't always, the programs here don't always cover the services that people need. So my job is to find out what the problems they're having and what program in the community that they can access. And but with all the programs in here, they do cover a lot of things like chemical dependency. They work with the elderly. They have the youth group, the Golden Eagles program. They have the congregate dining. And Healthy Nations has the other programs like the mentorship. So there are different components inside the programs that work. They have the Indian Child Welfare Act program. They have the Red Lake Liaison. And a lot of people seem to just gravitate to the Indian Center, especially when they get new into town. And then they also get a lot of calls from people that, and they want to know how certain words are being said in certain languages. And so almost any kind of questions that people want to know, they seem to call here.
Do you think that a lot of the people that come here and visit the Indian Center are people who are regular bus riders? Do you think there's a lot of bus ridership here in this neighborhood?
A lot of people who use the services, I would say, get here on the bus because, like you said, the number 2 bus comes here, the 14, I think the Bloomington bus. They can catch the bus to Chicago and Franklin and walk from there. I would say there's a lot of people do use the bus that come to the center.
Is there a phone number that you'd like to give people just in case they want to call with different kinds of questions for you?
Yeah, if they can call me, but get that information to them. If I don't know it, I'll find out what it is. Yeah, my number is 879-1761.
Okay, well, I think that's it today. Thank you, George, very much, and have a good afternoon, and we'll be talking to you soon.
Thank you.
Welcome to On the Bus, and we're here at the 4th Annual Team Transit Challenge, the bus race happening today on May 20th. Starts in about 10 minutes at 5 p.m., and we're here at the starting line. And we're going to be talking to a few of the people that are involved today with this bus race. People from 3M, people from MCTO, the driver himself. We might even get a little bit of footage of Crunch, the Timberwolf mascot. Who knows? Stay tuned. I've used one of these. We are rolling. Hi, we're here with George Saramgard today. He's the project manager. He's here at the starting line for the Team Transit bus race. What is the actual title of this event, and what's happening here at the starting line today?
Well, actually, Jennifer, this is the fourth annual Team Transit Challenge. And we do it as a kickoff to Bebop Day to draw attention to the benefits of taking the bus. We expect to win this race. We've won 3 times in the past. And we've got some advantages on this course. It's a challenging course this year, and our margin of victory might not be as much as it has been in the past. But our scouts have assured us of a victory probably in the range of about 5 to 7 minutes.
What's the course of the race today?
Well, we're going to be going from here at 12th and 3rd, next to Central Lutheran Church, down to St. Luke's Catholic Church, which is near the corner of 100th Street and DuPont. So we'll take 35W down to 98th Street, then we'll take 98th to Old Shakopee Road, and then right into the parking lot at the church.
What makes this particular course so challenging for a bus?
Well, you know, if you make one mistake, miss one exit, you're going to have to remain on the highway for probably a mile before you can get turned around. So everybody's got to stay on their toes.
Okay, we're here with Curtis Lowe, and he is the officially designated driver of the race bus today. Hi.
How you doing today?
Pretty good. Can you tell us a little bit about how you got the job driving this bus today and how long you've been driving for the MCTO?
Well, first I've been driving for 18 years, and they just came up and told me Monday that I'd be doing this. So just kind of picked me at random, I guess. You know.
How do you feel about doing this? Is it going to be kind of fun? Have you driven this express route before?
I've driven express route many times, and it's going to be fun.
We're here with Steen, and you're the technician for today's Team Transit Challenge race. What can you tell us about this fabulous machine?
As you see it, it's a diesel Detroit engine. It's a 386. It's got a turbocharged engine. It's highly computerized, and I can assure you it's going to do the job for us.
What can you tell us about the vehicle that we're going to be racing against today?
As far as I know, I can't compare it as to this modern technology. I don't know very much about it, but it's going to be quite a challenge for them.
Hi, Mom. Who wants to talk to me today about what you guys are doing here? How about you? What's your name?
Larasha.
Well, it's nice to meet you. How come you came down here today?
It was fun.
Who are you going to see here today? Did you see Crunch yet? Did you see him? What did he do?
He gave me a hug.
Did he really? Did he give anybody else a hug?
No. He gave Daniel a hug. He gave me a five. He gave Elizabeth a hug.
We're on the bus. We're getting ready to leave the starting line, and we're talking to the new general manager of MCTO, Art Leahy, and we're going to ask him just a little bit about the event today and about himself and a few other things. We'll see what Art has to say. Hi, Art.
Hello, how are you?
I'm good. Can you tell us a little bit about what's happening here today, why this event takes place every year, etc.?
I'd be happy to. What we're going to have here is a race between this transit bus on a regular route of line from downtown Minneapolis to Bloomington, and we're going to be racing a Humvee. And what we're going to show in this race is that a transit bus on regular route of line can provide service which is not only less expensive than driving a private car, but also faster and more convenient. So this is really a demonstration of what we know public transit can do every day.
Now, is this your first job managing a transit corporation, or have you had transit experience in another city?
Well, I've been in transit since 1971, coming up 26 years. I began as a bus driver in Los Angeles in 1971 and worked out there until last year. The last 8 years of that, I was in charge of transit operations in Los Angeles. So we ran back there a little more than 2,000 buses and 3 rail lines. So the chance to be the general manager here is really very exciting, and I'm pleased to be associated with Metro Council Transit.
Well, that's great. We're pleased to have you here. Can you tell us a little bit about what you see as changes you might like to make once you get settled into your office here, things you might like to see happen with transit here in the Twin Cities?
Well, sure. First, let me say that I think we have a lot better transit system than a lot of people give us credit for. As I travel around this city on buses or in a car, I notice that we have buses and bus stops in our routes all over the city. I've ridden buses out to the airport and to Bloomington and to St. Paul and, pardon me, in Minneapolis. I've ridden all over. And I know from that personal experience that we have a good route structure and you can get around. I know because I have done it. At the same time, we can always do better. So what I want to do is work with the staff here at Metro Council Transit to improve how we deal with our customers, to improve the quality of our service, just to make sure that we are operating the very best service that we can. Now, I think we're a good transit system, but I want to have a great transit system.
All right, we're off. We're headed for the freeway. The race has started.
All right.
Who's going to win this Team Transit Challenge? Who's going to win this race? To find out, you got to tune in next month. You got to watch us in July, so please check it out. And we're talking to
Johnny.
Okay. Do you ride the bus every day?
Yep.
Where do you ride the bus to?
To go home and to go to school.
Okay. Are there things that you like and don't like about riding the bus that you want to talk about?
Wineheads. People drinking on the bus and acting crazy.
Okay. Things that you think are good about having the bus around?
It take you places. And that's all.
Do you think that transit's important in the community? Do you think that it's a good thing to have? Should we have more of it?
It's a good thing, but I gotta go. My bus is here.
Thanks a lot.